So let's start with how we can create an MSIX package using MSIX packaging tool. So there are multiple tools nowadays which is supporting MSIX platform, and we can convert our application into an MSIX format like Advanced Installer, Admin Studio, Pace. So it and there are multiple applications as well. But for now, we will be using the freeware tool that has been provided by Microsoft, that is MSIX packaging tool. So how we can do that? We can either go to Microsoft Store and download the MSIX packaging tool, and also we can just directly type in here MSIX packaging tool offline download. So we can just click on get MSIX packaging tool here. This is the one version that is on Microsoft Store, and otherwise there should be an offline version as well. So it will be downloaded in this format. So we can just download either from the Microsoft Store or the offline version. So once we have downloaded it, we can just double click on the exe, and we can install the application. So once we have installed the MSIX packaging tool, we will first launch it. So this is the first screen that we will be having here. First thing is application package, how we can create our package. So if we want to create our package from scratch, we will be using this option. Then there is another option, create a package that modifies an existing app. That means if suppose we have already created an MSIX package, and in a new application we have specified some configurations or a minor change, then using this option we can create a modification package. And then third one is package editor. That means if there is an existing MSIX package, then we can just directly convert that into uh, we can edit that MSIX package and specify some configuration. So for now, let's see first this option, that how we can create our app package. So there are three options: create package on this computer, on this local machine on which currently we are launching this MSIX packaging tool. Second option is create package on a remote machine. If we want to create a package on a specific machine or a remote machine, we need to select this option, and then it will ask for additional information like computer name, then username and password of that computer name. Third option is create package on a local virtual machine. For that, we need to enable this Hyper-V. So for now, and for the default package creation, we will always go with create package on this computer. Click on next. So now, first thing is that it will ask for MSIX packaging tool driver. It will check whether this driver is installed or not. If it is not there, then it will automatically install this. Second option is Windows update is active or not. So during the package conversion, we don't want any unwanted files and registries to be there in our package. So MSIX packaging tool by default disable this Windows update setting during our package creation. And if suppose the system requires a reboot, then it will give us this option, that pending reboot. That means our system requires a reboot, because if we are not rebooting our device, then an unwanted or unnecessary data will be collected in our package. And again, we don't want to do that. So, but the best thing is that we need to make sure all the time whether if this option is there, pending reboot, then first go and reboot the device and then proceed with the package creation. Also, there is one option, Windows search is active. What Windows search means, it's like we can search our specific, if we want to search a specific application, specific files, specific folders via this search, we can specify, for example, config.json. And If that file is present anywhere onto our system and we have enabled this functionality that Windows search is active, that means even after our package creation, if we have installed the application, it will be traceable from this location, config.json. This file will be traceable from this window search. And sometimes we don't want to do that because at the end of the day, the end user won't be having the access of Windows app folder where our MSIX package is installed. So in terms of privacy, in terms of if we don't want to index our file to prevent indexing, or sometimes there are confidential files. For example, some files collects or stores password, and we don't want that to be highlighted by just typing it from Windows search option. So because of this reason, for the privacy, for confidentiality of the data, we always disable this option. So we always select this, disable this option. So before going further, first thing that we need to do is restart the device, because for now, without it, we will be able to create the package, but then it will have some unnecessary data collection, which we don't want. So first, let's uninstall, reboot our machine. So after the restart, if there is no pending reboot in the system, then our tool will show like this. Now there is no pending reboot pop-up that is coming up, or the message that is being displayed in the MSX packaging tool. So now we can go and proceed with the package creation. So here, every time we should make sure that this Windows search is disabled. The status should be disabled. Why? Because there is a Windows search indexer service which is running behind and which is indexing your files all the times, which is consuming your CPU, which is consuming your RAM and memory, and it is consuming memory. And also just to make sure that this shouldn't be come under this Windows search, your files, your confidential files, we should make sure that Windows search should be disabled. So we have disabled this. Now here there is an option. If you have an installer that you want to run, do you know if you have any package that you want to run, you can just browse it and then select which exe or executable you want to run, and then we can proceed with the package creation. Here, if your application is having any command line arguments, suppose we have created any package in PowerShell deployment toolkit and we want to execute that package in silent mode, or we want to create an uninstaller package. So for that, we can specify the command lines. Then this is the most important thing, signing preference. Package requires a sign-in certificate. Package always requires a certificate that needs to be signed, because this is an added security which is there in the MSIX, and this certificate will make sure that the package that we are creating, the publisher, the vendor, that will be trusted. For an organization, this certificate is very important. Here, we require a .pfx certificate, and then we can proceed with our package. Even without that certificate, we can create a package, but somehow it won't be installing on the system. The reason being that application publisher will not be trusted for that particular domain or that particular system. So in order to make sure that our installation should work, it should always have a certificate, and it should be in .pfx format. And here there are two ways by which we can do that. First way is we can create a self-signed certificate, and then we can install that certificate in our local machine, trusted root authority, and then we can create our package. Or if we are working in an organization, the organization should have a trusted certificate that is in PFX format that will be provided, and then that certificate we can use in our package creation. So for now, uh, I already have this certificate. How I created this? This is a self-signed certificate. So there is a PowerShell command line that we can use to create the certificate. So there is a command line that we can use. New self-signed certificate. We can specify our subject. We can provide friendly name, store location, and all the things. And then we need to export that certificate in PFX format. And that PFX format require password, and then we can this is the password, and then that certificate will be imported in .pfx format, and that certificate we will be using in our package. So currently I have created one self-signed certificate here and embedded that in my package creation. And then there is an option timestamp. What timestamp means, it's if suppose we have a certificate and its validity or the certificate expiration is for like after 6 months. So it has a validity for 6 months. Then what will happen after this 6 months? So generally, if we haven't specified this timestamp option, then it means that after 6 months, once the certificate is not valid, this application should not install, because now the publisher or the vendor that within the certificate that we specified is not trusted. So in that way, it is a problem that after 6 months, this package won't be installing on the devices. So in order to fix this problem, there are two ways. One is then we need to embed a new trusted certificate, digitally signed certificate that should be valid, that have a expiration date like that the expiration date that we have extended. Or there is another way, we can specify timestamp. Timestamping means that during the creation of this package, we have we have provided a stamp over this package that we are telling our OS during the like installer that during the creation of this application, this package was valid. This package was signed with a valid certificate. So even after 6 months, if we have provided the timestamp within this application, after 6 months, that package will install and will work smoothly. Why? Because we have timestamped it. And timestamp generally means that we have provided our authority, we have provided our stamp that when the package was created before the certificate expiration, it was valid. So consider this package, this publisher, as a valid one even after the certificate expiration. So then if we have provided this timestamp URL, it will work even after the certificate expiration. So that's the benefit of timestamp. So this is the screen. For for example, right now, let's take this VLC 3.0.21 version and then click on next. Now here we need to specify the basic information, the package information. So for now, like our package name is VLC media player. Package display name, what it should display, this, and this publisher name, it's within this subject of the certificate. The certificate that we have created, it already has this publisher name. So this is the reason when we are installing the application, it will check the certificate and it will match that subject with the publisher name of the package that we have created. And then if these matches, then only it will be able to install the application. Currently, what we want to display, test. Version is 3.0.21. We won't be able to make any modification in this fourth column. Generally, versioning in this MSIX is in this format where this is the major version, minor version, patch or build version, and then this is revision number. So for now it has been uh, like we won't be able to make any changes in the version. So we will keep it in that way, and also uh, at most it can provide, or it can support 5 characters only. Here 5 characters, here 5 characters, and here 5 characters. If we specify here, so it will support 5 characters here. If we specify 6, it won't accept it. If we specify 6, it won't accept it. So at most it supports 15 character here. So currently the version is 3.0.21. And what is the package description? So we can specify uh, the description that's on our basis. It is not recommended, or it's just for the user experience, that what we want to display during the installation, what this package is for. So for now, we have specified multimedia. And if we want this application to be installed to a particular location, we can specify it here. Otherwise, we need to proceed. We need to proceed with the default installation. We should click on next. There is a concept of accelerator that we will cover in a separate. For now, proceed next. And then this is the installation section where the application will, this MSIX packaging tool will install this application. So we should proceed with this. So this is that stage where whatever application we have specified in our select installer category, it will execute or trigger that application. Again, now this installation stage, this is the listening state of this MSIX packaging. This tool is in the listening state. So if we want to execute multiple script, multiple executable file, if we want to make any further changes, so this is the time. If the application requires restart, we can click on restart, and it will go into the restart zone. And again, after the restart, this tool will pick up from this point only. So that means this is the listening state of the packaging tool. All the installer or further configuration that we want to do. So this is the time. If not, we have made all the changes, or we have provided all the installer, we can click on next. Now, this is the first launch task, or it is looking for the entry point. So currently, this is the shortcut that the installer has found: VLC.exe, VLC media player, and default launch. So this, if we have a multiple shortcuts in our application, then it will pop up, or display all the shortcuts here. So if we want to run this, we can run this and check whether our application is working or not. So this is the first launch task, and generally we should try to launch it in the initial go here, so that we can check whether the entry point is working or not. If everything is done, now click on next. Now the packaging tool will ask if you want to make any changes or not, because after this we won't be able to make any changes. So for now we have done with that. Yes, move on. And then there is a section called package report. So package report generally will give if the package has services, all the included services which have been included in the package, or all the services which are either not supported, or require some additional configuration or description, then it will show here. So the service section will include two tables. One is include services table, and one is exclude services table. So here it will specify all the services within the application. So currently there are no services in the application. So we can click on next, and then this is the save location where we want to create the package. So click on create, and it will create the package. So once it creates a package, we will try to install it and then check whether the application is working fine or not. And then on the basis of that, we need to take further steps. So package has been created. Once it creates the package, before that, we need to make sure that we uninstall the installation that MSIX already installed. That means there was an installer that MSIX packaging tool already installed because it was capturing what are the changes that it should be captured during the MSIX creation process. So we need to first remove this. And this is our package. This is a package that we created, so click on install. So here our application is working and installing fine. So here how you can create the application or you can convert the application using an MSIX packaging tool.